Yeah, man, congrats once again. So obviously to the extent this is all to the extent that you're willing to share, but how does it feel to be a rich 21-year-old?
I wouldn't say I'm there quite yet, but on the way.
You're
Sure.
definitely well on your way. Doing a lot better than I was when I was your age. But let's pick this apart. So you run quite an interesting operation. I don't want to speak for you, but an AI automation firm. You also do AI powered outreach for businesses. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so the AI automation side's primarily construction based, just because there's a lot of manual stuff still being done
Yeah.
in those industries, particularly in landscaping and actual building as part of construction. And for the AI outreach stuff, it's just cold emails sending thousands a day.
Sounds good. And we've been. When did we first meet? Was it like end of October, early November,
November last year. Yeah.
Of 2025? So it's been November, December, January, February, March, about 7 months ish.
Yeah, about that. Yeah.
Cool. Talk to me about where you were when you first started, and then you know what? Okay, hold on. So we're doing this because you just signed like 2 monster deals in the last couple of weeks. I probably should have started there. Congrats once again. Tell us a little bit about. You don't got to go into detail, but tell us a little bit about like what the numbers have looked like for you, gross.
Yeah, so those 2 deals specifically, the first one was a website and branding deal that was 8.3K Australian. And the next one was this SMS bot and deal or document portal, which was 15K. So, I mean, that gross was like 23.3.
Yeah, and that was in the span of what? With
3 weeks.
Yeah, in about 3 weeks.
3 weeks. Yeah.
Was that your biggest month ever in business? Gross?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. What does that feel like?
Where's the next one?
That's funny. Yeah, I
Dopamine doesn't hit anymore because it's like I got to find the next one. Like I don't let it hit too much.
Yeah, and we talked about this the other day. Like it's always going to feel like that.
Yeah,
and you tend to like first, in some weird way, you just tend to get good at finding the next ones, or like you end up tending to attract them because like your name starts to get out there. You start to build a rep, or like what you thought was like a super complex pitch ends up being very casual.
Yeah.
Like, do you just want help with this other stuff? We can do that for you, and you would benefit for these reasons. Yeah. Like most of the sales stuff that at least happens for me is like super in passing. It's just like very casual. Like, do you want help? Okay, cool. So monster results so far. And I'll give you the credit. Like it didn't start this way out the gate. Like there was definitely a lot of trial and error and consistency that you had to like put forth before this became a thing. So I'll let you take over, but talk to us about some of the major takeaways that you've learned in our time together. Like, how are you able to start doing this now? Like, what are the things that you've picked up that has allowed you to just make 23?
23.
23
Yeah,
grand
23,
in revenue in like in the span of 3 weeks. 'Cause that isn't luck. You have something that like you may not have had maybe 7 months prior. Of course, timing of the market and stuff like that like contributes too. But talk to us about like how are you operating at this level? What are the secrets? What do you got that other folks don't have? What did you learn?
Yeah, so these 2 deals were kind of connected, ironically. So particularly in Australia, like the commission structure for real estate agents is not ideal. So what a lot of builders are doing now is that they're opening their own real estate companies up. So now they're selling their own construction projects, so they don't have to, waste that 3% commission that they'd be losing effectively. So this head of this construction company created this new real estate agency with a friend of his. So he came to me because I had a good experience with him with the construction company first. And so that deal kind of sold itself. Now, the irony, particularly with the construction company, is that it wasn't originally 15K. It was actually a failed like 3.5K like invoicing automation. that kind of went dead. So I kept following him up like week after week. And I said, hey, like, what's the deal? Do you still want to keep doing this? He's like, well, I'm not really sure about it. I said, okay, no problem. Let's go back to the drawing board. What's currently frustrating you with how you're operating? And so I literally just shut up and I literally just let him tell me what his problem was. And so from there, I was able to craft an offer that would actually help him and be of use to him. And obviously the price went through the roof, but I literally just shut my mouth and let him tell me what his problem was.
Yeah. Really, it's interesting how the biggest deals and sales at the highest level is actually very simple. You know,
Yeah.
very, very, very simple. Okay, what did you take? Did any of that come from? What about the stuff that you're doing comes from what you've picked up along this experience specifically, but that maybe you didn't pick up anywhere else?
Well, to be honest, the sales call stuff, because that's what you told me early on. Like, don't get nervous to like oversell, which like earlier on I probably would have like just kept like trying to explain, but I just like laid back in my chair and was just like, so tell me what your problem is. And like, I was just completely nonchalant about it. So that is what I learned from you, honestly. Like, I probably wouldn't have constructed that deal without your advice about the sales call stuff.
Awesome. Well, that's really cool. Yeah, it took me a long time to learn. A really long time to learn. That's cool. I should also mention for anybody who might watch this that you help us a lot with like the AI and cold email tech stuff, and we actually lean on you for a lot of your expertise. And I have no issues saying that you are the brightest mind I know in the world of AI automation. And I say this as someone who consults in the AI space. Just to give like whoever might be watching this, just to give you guys an idea of who you guys are listening to right now. How much money, like gross, you've generated in our time together?
Roughly. I can tell you that.
Yeah. What would that be?
Well, I actually went and built like a mini SaaS for me to actually see all my deals.
Of course you did.
Yeah. So my LTV to date is 37,649 Australian dollars.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So, yeah, I mean that's quite the multiple.
Yeah.
that's quite the ROI. Cool. Okay. Well, that's good. And obviously your journey has looked different. Like you came in initially looking to straight up do deal generation. And then a lot of our conversation was like, okay, but don't like completely turn off what you've already worked towards and just like, let's leverage that and bring that into the mix. And be open-minded as to how like revenue can come in, which I will give you a lot of credit for. Like you're really good at like considering outside counsel and then making it your own, like in the way that works for you. Would you, so you've invested a lot to be here, like the initial engagement, then also like you progressed into more of an elite engagement where we worked essentially one-on-one. So would you do that again? Was it worth it? And then would you? I'll ask the other two later. But would you do that again? Was it worth it? Was it worth your time? Was it worth your money? Are you glad that like you took that chance on yourself?
Yeah, I've been thinking about this a lot in the past, like, I don't know what, 2 weeks. There's different ways to look at it, but I would see particularly the intangibles that I took away from it. The answer to your question is yes, I would do it again. Because this whole experience was like guiding or transforming me into like a new sort of person. Like if people go back and look at my YouTube videos and search by oldest, the abstrosity that they will see, I don't even want to watch. Like I would turn that off, like delete. So like I've had to kind of evolve as a person. So even on that basis alone, yes, I would do it again. But I think even when you get to like this level, it's almost like you have to pay to get into the room with people. Like the relationship that we have now, like going forward, would be completely different because of that event.
Yeah.
Whether like collaborations or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think people would be able to get those sort of experiences without being in these kind of rooms.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, 100%.
Awesome. It's the nice thing about, like, I love that you said that you're able to say that, yeah, you can go on my YouTube channel and sort by oldest thing now. I love that for
Please
you.
don't, by the way.
Say it again.
Please don't. For people watching this, don't do that.
Yeah.
You'll feel like this alien, like locked in, like.
Yeah. I love that for you because you now have an undeniable, like, you have an undeniable credibility and an undeniable catalog that like this didn't just fall from the sky. You know,
Yeah.
like, people can go back and see that you weren't this person. Like, they can see a clear before and after, you know, which is really, really, really nice. Like, I use that a lot in my own like branding. It's like, yeah, I was like, I am the case study, and so are you, you know, for your own journey. And yeah, absolutely. Like, you and I are 1000%. We're collaborating right now, and we're probably going to continue to collaborate in the future on even an even bigger level. Now, who to someone who might be on the fence about like I'll tell you this: my rates are not cheap, you know, for good reason. And I'll say this again: like, you put down a significant investment to be able to get to where you are. A significant investment, like monetarily, and also your time and effort. You know, like this was the furthest thing from like a get rich in 30 days thing, right? That being said, for someone who's on the fence thinking about like making this investment for themselves and for their business, maybe you like 7 months or 8 months ago, what would you tell them? Like, who is this for? And then like, what would you tell them if they're sort of on the fence and hesitating?
Yeah, I would say, just on the raw basis, like, you get what you pay for. And like, the people who get stuff for free, to call it that, never usually ends up being anything of substance because they don't value it because it's free. And usually the quality isn't that great. But what I would say pertaining to myself 7 months ago is I was at such a crappy place, as you know. Like, I was just on Upwork grinding, and that's how I hit that first 10K a month. But I'm like, there has to be a better way to get there. And so I think that people, if they actually take a bet on themselves, and usually people don't buy because they don't trust themselves.
Right.
Like, ultimately people are lazy. And so they don't actually go through with it. I knew that I didn't have a commitment problem, which is why my YouTube and TikTok schedule, like, for the first like 3 months was like nonstop. So I didn't have a problem with that. So I knew that I would get a return regardless. But I think for people who genuinely want to change, you have to be willing to step outside of your comfort zone. And to be honest, that elite program that I entered in with you after the initial engagement was outside of my comfort zone. But the possibility of me staying stagnant where I was worse than the monetary figure. So it wasn't really a decision.
Yeah, and it's like, this is like, you don't like, this is stuff that you carry with you for the rest of your life. Like, you're going to be in business, well, until you decide to retire, but like,
Yeah.
voluntarily for another 30, 40 years if you want, you know. So that, like, whatever the investment is, like, it's over the, like, divide that over the course of decades.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, so this is great, man. Like, I've told you this multiple times. I didn't hit my first 10K month till I was 26. I think, yeah, till I was 26, and then I think I did it once, and I could never do it again for the span of another few months. What you're doing right now is pretty much unheard of. I've watched you go from what was essentially an idea and like some work, like, you know, some freelancer work, to running a full scale operation. You know, you just hit over 20 grand a month, like, gross. You know, that's a lot of money, dude. Anyway, so Yeah, I'm sure there will be more case studies. You and I are going to continue to work closely. Obviously, you teach me a lot about what's happening in the AI space, specifically from the technology angle and like what's new, what's hot. You're always building some sort of like crazy automation SaaS thing that makes everybody's lives easier. I'll say this: like if anybody watching this is serious about learning AI automation specifically, Dominic's your guy. Like if you want someone who's doing this at a very high level, who's way beyond his years, Dominic is your guy. If you want someone who's going to handle like the done for you AI powered outreach, Dominic is your guy. This is someone who I've watched build this from the ground up with his own two hands, and there's literally nothing in the world of AI that he cannot do. And I can say this as someone who works with him on that level. That being said, I mean, no matter how you want to define it, you're a rich 21-year-old, and I look forward to seeing you getting a lot richer.
Thank you.
Final thoughts, my friend.
Yeah, I would just say, particularly for the younger people watching this, like if you're under the age of 30, you genuinely have an godly advantage over these boomers who run businesses who are over the age of 40. You're laughing because you know the type of avatar I'm speaking about. Mm-hmm. But if you're under the age of 30 and you have some sort of technological acumen to you, like this is like the .com bubble right now, but for AI. And the next 2 to 5 years is really going to be one of the biggest wealth transfers in the history of like human or mankind, just because people know that AI exists now because they see it in the news every day. Like they see Anthropic's releasing this, ChatGPT is doing this, but they don't know how they can actually apply it to their own business to actually help optimize and improve their own practices. So if you know and you have some sort of familiarity with the market, you can literally go straight into it and start to build a mega operation because you know how AI actually works, you know how the industry functions, and you can apply AI into that, which is what I'm doing now, particularly with construction, literally automating, basically removing $80,000 to $100,000 a year salaries. Like you can do that for any niche, really. Any sort of pen pusher that's like sitting behind a desk doing like data entry research, these mindless tasks can be automated. So I think if you're a young person and you don't want to go down the whole like university grind and you know how to use AI, and by the way, you can just teach yourself on YouTube if you don't, because like all the information is out there, like you really, nothing's stopping you. So nice. I would say go for it.
Nice. Is there anything else you think they might want to know about like what it's like working with me and my team, and give him the brutal, like don't hold back.
Yeah, well, you're lucky because you've got a superstar on your team as well. Marita, she's great. But I would say the people who succeed like in programs like yours are the ones that actually like show up to calls, because that's where the value is. Like if you're just in like the support channel, that's not really going to cut it. Like the one-to-one or like the group calls on Fridays and stuff, that's where the real value is. At least I think I missed like one call ever in my time throughout the program over like 7 months. But me personally, I got the best value out of speaking to you on Fridays, or Friday for me, Thursday for you, like on those calls. So I don't have anything negative. I know this sounds biased, but I truly don't have anything negative in terms of working with you directly and working with your entire team.
Sweet. Would you do it again?
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome.
Because I wouldn't be here if I didn't.
Yeah.
And I would say to someone, like, even if you buy a program, and I think maybe you can relate to this as well, like if you buy a mentorship or you buy a program and you can't like straight away see the value, there is some sort of little nuggets along the way that will attribute to a larger success, and it's just a stage in the journey.
Yeah.
And I think once you take a step back and you actually view everything in context, it becomes really easy to see how you've improved in things along the way. And you're going to have to invest in coaching or mentoring eventually, because you're basically buying time, which is a no-brainer.
Well said. I've invested the last two major, not the last two, but I have not met a single person who has invested significant amounts. And I'm not talking like a $200 little like $200 a month thing. I'm talking like a real investment. I've never met anybody who has done that and taken it seriously not make more money like within a calendar year. Like not be in a position where they've not only like made their money back a couple of times over, but they're also just like doing it consistently, and they're a much better entrepreneur. I've never seen that before, provided like that they take it seriously. Because some people do the thing where like they just invest in stuff and they're just like, all right, and they just okay, right? Which is another conversation in itself. But yeah, I wish I took my life as seriously as you do yours when I was your age, because I'd be way richer than I am right now. Like I'd be in a probably in a different stratosphere. That being said, life is great as it is. But yeah, I'm really happy for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, because I've seen you work for it. And I've seen you go through those moments where it's like, it doesn't look like things are happening.
Yeah.
With at least like with our physical eyes, it doesn't look like things are happening. And although like you can if you were to sit down and like close your eyes, you'd probably be able to think of those moments where like literally nothing happened, like nothing progressed today. I just put out another 3 videos on TikTok and another YouTube video out into the ethos, and nothing happened. It was just for the sake of getting another 5 views. And then like why?
That's actually a good point.
Yeah, go for it.
That's actually a really good point. Like oftentimes, like when you do something like the universe has a funny way of rewarding like effort and discipline, and something else completely unrelated great will happen as a result of that sort of daily grind. Like a couple of these deals had nothing to do with our work together, but just by the pure effort of grinding day in and day out, good things tend to happen to those who are like constantly working.
Yeah. Very, very interesting how that happens.
Yeah.
And I've been saying this a lot lately, but so much of it is just staying in the game.
Yeah, facts.
Like we all have really lucky days and like really lucky streaks where we're making 23,000, but like you got to stay in the game long enough. You got to keep showing up, because you never know when that stuff's going to happen. But like those days where nothing's happening, it's like, why continue to show up? And after a certain point, I guess you just realize that, like, because what else are you going to
do? Yeah, right.
Go back to being broke.
Most young people in particular struggle with that, like delayed gratification. Like they'll try something for 2 weeks and go, "Oh, it's not working," and quit. Oh yeah, you see it all the time.
I see it all the time. That was also me for like, I don't know, for years. And then I realized that, like, and this is most people, that I've been doing the same like 2 to 3 weeks of starting over for about like 5 or 6 years. Like picking something up and then like being like, yeah, I'm going to go all in. And then the life has, obviously it's going to present me the perfect excuse to bail out. Then I'm like, oh, this was never for me. Let me find a new thing. And I've been repeating that 2 or 3 week cycle for like, I was repeating that for a good amount of years. Yeah. Cool. All right. Sales. Anything super important that you might, obviously you got the cold email stuff. Some business strategy. I like to think that you probably picked up.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, cool. Well, I think we can wrap this up here. I think I can do a lot of good with this. Tell them where they can find you and find your stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll put it in the description too, but go for it.
Yeah, it's just Dominic Schwantes on Instagram on the handle, and on TikTok it's Dominic underscore Schwantes, I think.
Awesome.
But you'll find me.
Yeah, they got your links in the description. Workflows is also your venture, and I'm sure it will have a lot of other stuff rolling out in the near future. How does one get? I should have asked this. Like, how do you get to 20+ K a month? Like now that you're there, how do you get there? And like
Uh,
how were you at 10 and then how were you at 20? Like what were the big differences?
this is something you should throw in as well.
Yeah.
It's about pricing, and it's about the psychology of pricing.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
just charge more. Like, you have to be ballsy and just go for it. Like, no joke, that 15K deal I charged the other day, I was fully expecting to get pushed back. I got zero objections. I woke up on Saturday to my inbox saying, "Hey Dom, just signed, all good." I was like, damn. I was totally expecting there to be some like pushback, but there wasn't. And I think that just goes to show you, if you're ballsy and you go for it, sometimes you're met with a nice surprise at the end of it. And that's something I picked up from you. Just double it, charge more.
Was there any difference in how you pitched it from like $1,000 thing?
No. And that's the irony. It's like, why would you sweat for $200? Or like, the guys I'm talking about that charge like $397 a month for something. And it's like, you have to grind and sweat the exact same amount as charging a 15K thing. So why would you not just go for the high ticket item? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Same language, same approach,
Yep.
same pitch, just a different
It's just a figure. Yep, literally.
And like in this case, the individual said yes. In a different scenario, they say no. And then you just roll with the punches. You say, okay, why not? Or how can we make this work? Or what else do you need to justify this? Like okay, like it's fine. Like no one's dead, nobody's, but at least you tried.
Yeah. Well, this is the other thing I picked up from you in particular. It's like, if it becomes a price objection, you haven't communicated the value clearly enough. And that's like, I've just sat down for like 5 hours today and I'm pitching this new offer that's purely retainer based, not so focused on the build fee. Like, this 37.5 grand so far that we've done in this calendar year, that's been purely just like big build fee and not many retainers. And it's like, okay, this cash is good, but now how can we go about actually getting recurring revenue that starts to like compound and stack? But it's always like, how can I quantify the problem? I.e., like, I'm replacing an 80 to 100 grand a year salary. How can I get like a small piece of that and communicate that value? So it's like a no-brainer, like, yes, I want to go with your solution. But it's just value. Like, if people say no, it's because now you're competing with everyone else because it's about price. Whereas if it's just about value, like, price shouldn't even really be an option for them to object.
Yeah. I really like that. And just getting creative with how you present it. I truly think that if you like, there's this very subtle shift that I made in my own journey where I was so much about like, how can I make more money? And I made a subtle shift. This is the other side of the coin, actually. It's like, how can I provide more value to this person?
Yeah.
Right. And that was like what I was sort of leading with. I was like, oh, well, what would I want? Like, if I was in their shoes, like, what kind of support would I want? I would probably want like 24/7 access to be able to ask them anything and like let it be a safe space. And then maybe I can like reach out to them at any time. And then maybe we can jump on some calls. And then, maybe they handle a lot of like the planning for me or the guidance for me. So I don't got to think about all this stuff and like, just tell me what to do next, and,
Yeah.
Maybe some videos. I may or may not watch them, but whatever, yeah. And then just getting creative with the visual. I'll talk to you more about this later, but like one thing I'm doing is like a literal visual on the slide, like a slide where it's like, kind of like a bar where it's like a green bar of like, you get this, right? Like it's a green
It's like a value ladder.
Yeah, it's like exactly. Just imagine like a green little
Yeah.
like rectangle. It's like this, and then so the bars up here, and then price is like this little tiny thing down here. It'll be like this little like yellow, like the first tenth of the bar is yellow now, or red, or whatever color. But like the price will be like, I don't know, like 10, 20. But then like the bar is like 100,000. So just visually, like it just plants it in their head, and just little creative, like you can whoever's watching this, like, feel free to take this transcript and put it in your favorite GPT and tell it to generate you an image. But I honestly, like, I'm about to test that out in a few hours. I think it's gonna go, because you can do like, oh yeah, like we typically sell this for this with and then today I'm gonna give it to you. But like, okay, you know, like, that doesn't mean anything to people. You know, they need it. They need to be able to see the. They need to be able to see the value in like all the different components. Like, we'll do this for you, and this, and this, and this, so that you never have to do this and this, so you never have to go through this and this, and it just keeps stacking, and then like, here's a fee. But the fee on its own is probably like this. But like in comparison, like just layered on top of everything else is like, it's like this. So yeah, I'm gonna try that out. Feel free to steal that, by the way. Yeah,
that's a cool thing. I should try that.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it out today. See how it goes. But like the underlying thing here is that it actually has to help people. Like it actually has to like be of some value. Like it actually like each one of those components has to exist for a reason. You can't just throw stuff at people. It's not to you. This is to the audience.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Like we've removed, and you were like, you're here for this now, but like we have removed, and we are removing a lot of things. You know, because not everybody needs everything to like succeed. You know. Anyway, we'll wrap up here. Did you want to drop anything else? You're all good.
No, I think we've covered a lot.
Awesome. Sounds good, man. Well, I appreciate you. I appreciate you doing this.
No problem.